Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be installing an RBC intake manifold on my 2014 Civic Si, which I have here. Okay, with the RBC intake manifold, obviously we're going to have to take off a few things from the stock 9th gen motor. We're going to start by removing the cold air intake as well as the throttle body. The stock piping, there's tubes here. Obviously we're going to take the valve cover off, or not the valve cover, the injector cover. This plastic portion of the intake manifold is coming off. I don't know if you see it in there, but that portion of the intake manifold going to the block is coming off as well.
Ryan Little.
Alright, so with the throttle body there are a few bolts to take out. There are these 4 bolts here. They're about, I believe they're 12 millimeters. We have these 2 coolant lines that we are going to be disconnecting. The throttle body plug can come off. Just give it a little jiggle. Whoopsie daisy! Now for the fuel rail, there are 2 grounds in the back. 1, 2, those are 10 millimeter bolts. And then you have 2 12s right here. And then you have these little metal clips that hold the injectors to the fuel rail. You kind of just slide those out with a flathead screwdriver, 3 and 4, and then you're ready to disconnect your fuel rail. Make sure you have a rag or something handy because there's likely to be fuel in the injector still and in the fuel rail, and it can get a bit messy, so make sure you have yourself a good rag or something. Alright. Now there's still probably fuel in the fuel rail. Luckily enough the injectors didn't. Ooh, this one looks like it's got some bite. This one was either damaged or took a nasty bite when going back in. If you see this, let me see. See that little bite? The ring isn't. See, it's got like a chunk missing out of it where these are all solid. So it was time for a new injector anyway. Alright, now that we have the throttle body off, injectors out, fuel rail over to the side, 12 millimeter bolts holding this plastic intake manifold out, as well as these vacuum lines and coolant lines disconnected from the throttle body and half of the intake manifold. This one is ready to come out. Now there is a hose that connects to the back of it down here. It's easier to just pull this out and like kind of pull it back and up because there are 2 nuts or bolts that are holding it together underneath. But you do have to take those off with a 12 millimeter, so make sure you do that. But I found it easiest just to kind of give it a little bit of force, maybe use a wrench to set separate it like that. And then back here is one of those hose lines that I was telling you about. Just gonna loosen that clamp up with my flathead. Just kind of pry it off. Oh, got it. And then, oh, and this one little wire is connected on there. Let me just see if I can get this out easily. There we go. And this portion's out. Make sure you keep your gloves on. Alright, so with the RBC swap, there is a coolant delete that you need, and there is a throttle body spacer that you need with the O-ring to prevent seal, or to make a seal, thermal gasket. I have Honda Bond as well, and now it's just a matter of throwing this all together. Right now I'm going to be installing the coolant delete. I'm going to do the edges with Honda Bond, line it up down here, covering the factory coolant line, or coolant hole. So there's a bolt that snaps in here, and there's going to be a bolt that lines up with one of these two over here, and it's important to put the hose onto the bung here for the coolant delete to actually work. I put my thermal gasket on. I'm going to have to trim it a little bit here just so this will fit flush. Right now I'm just swapping the injectors and the stock fuel rail. So what I'm doing is I'm just obviously wrapping it with a rag, pulling the stock ones out. This one's out. Now, you see I did the other three already. I'm doing the last one, just taking them out of the RBC and carefully pressing them in so the O-rings sit nicely. And that's done. Now I should be able to just flip this around, push the fuel rail back in. Okay, so I still need to get spacers for the RBC intake manifold, just to the fuel rail, so it holds on there, it's not as loose. Put the throttle body spacer on, as well as the throttle body. I had to mock up my intake because the Skunk 2 cold air intake I didn't have, or I had, didn't fit. So I just kind of used what I had and pieced something together. I did take the coolant delete off. If you see it's yellow now, I painted it, but I had a little bit of leak there. The Honda Bond wasn't all the way around, so I had to make sure that I got that all good. I at least extended my throttle body harness just because I didn't want to pull and tug at this. I wanted to keep it pretty clean in case I ever wanted to go back to stock. Made sure the coolant hoses were all connected to the throttle body in the correct positions. The top silver housing goes on the top portion of the, let's see, the top tube of the inlet on the coolant for the throttle body. Yeah, this coolant line goes here to the bottom of the throttle body, and this coolant line goes to the top of the throttle body. Alright guys, that's it for the RBC install. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to help you guys out or answer any questions you might have, like where vacuum lines go and stuff like that. I didn't really show too much of that, but it's pretty straightforward if you just look at it. But other than that, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I am over the 100 subscriber giveaway point, so sorry I haven't made a video on that yet. I will be doing one, I would say, in the next couple of days because I'm really close to 150 subscribers, so I'm just going to do a double giveaway. So let me know in the comments below what you guys want to get. I'm going to be giving away a set of 9th gen lowering springs, D2 lowering springs, as well as a lower tie bar for the front end of the car. I think it's a Megan Racing lower tie bar. It's also for a 9th gen, and I'll probably throw in a shift knob or something for anybody that doesn't have a 9th gen or doesn't need that part. So just comment on the video below, let me know what you want, and enter yourself in the giveaway. I'll do a giveaway announcement video when I hit 150 subscribers, so I'm really close. So like I said guys, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.